Hi everyone. Welcome back to my channel. How are y'all doing this morning? It's still morning, right? I got on early for y'all. How y'all doing? I'm trying to fix myself up for you guys. So this video is going to be about how to increase your psychic abilities or your intuition with decoding or by decoding. So if you want, this is going to be kind of like instructional. It's going to give you some exercises, or particularly like focusing on one type of exercise. And I might do something live to kind of show you how it's done. But this technique is not new. I've been doing this forever before I knew it was even a technique. But I find that it works and it was highly accurate. So the first time I discovered I could do this was at a bar. So I wasn't in any meditative state. I wasn't sober, or I had just started drinking for the evening. So I was not in any type of room, in any type of, meditation position or anything. So this is why I know it's accurate, because you don't need to be in a certain place to do it. So, but I am naturally intuitive anyway. But for those of you who are not, you might need more quiet and concentration. Just letting you know. So the first time I realized I could kind of do something as far as saying I'm psychic or I can see things most people can't, is when I just allowed things to come through naturally without trying to imagine or guess. That's number one. You don't try to imagine or guess anything. You just let symbols or shapes or colors or things just enter your mind, or even if you feel like a taste or a smell or something like that, you just let it be, and then you go from there. Okay, so for example, I probably told you guys this story many times, but it was just for fun. But some guy was like, oh, read me, can you see can you see something with me? And I had no idea who this person was. They just, I just met them through a mutual friend, and I had no idea about anything about them. Didn't know what they did for a living. Just saw them just with my eyes. Didn't talk to them very long, but maybe like, hello, your name is da da da. That's it. Didn't know nothing about it. And so my other friend was like, oh man, she's a reader. She can read people and da da da. You know how people hype you up, but I did not like that at all. But you know how people don't care what you like or not. They're just going to do what they want to do. And this is when I was a little bit younger. And so I was old enough to drink though. So he was like, oh, read him, tell him something about himself. I'm like, okay. So I look at the dude, and then I just start seeing an anatomical heart, like I'm seeing x-ray vision, and I just start seeing a heart. So I say, I don't know, I just see a heart and like pumping, and like it's pumping hard. I just see a pumping heart that's hard, like a hard pumping heart. Like I see, like, did you just exercise, or did you just get back from running? Like, is your heart beat extra fast or something? And he said he just came from the doctor, and they told him that he has to get on high blood pressure medication because his arteries were overworking and his heart was pumping too hard, working too hard because he had a high blood pressure. And I had no idea this person had just come from the doctor. And why are you coming from the doctor to the bar to drink? Okay, so that's first of all, like, okay, you didn't listen, obviously. But I wasn't there to judge, but they were blown away. And I was blown away because I was not expecting to be doing those type of things when I go out to have a good time, because a lot of people will push you into doing stuff if they know a little bit about you. So that's why I don't tell anybody what I anymore. But anyway, so that was the first time. The second time is when when I guess the guy, when he saw I could do that, he randomly called me up after dropping, the guy off. He randomly called me up like the next day and saying, oh, my friend needs your help, and just put them on the phone. Like, This is why I don't tell people stuff or give out phone numbers because they take advantage. So basically, the girl had a sister who was missing and was murdered, and they didn't have any too much information on, catching the killer. So I just imagined or just closed my eyes and stuff popped into my head, like symbols, like two vultures circling. And so I said it was two people involved in the murder, like vultures. They feed off of, they feed off of and they pick off of things, and they circle and they circle their prey. So I think they were, it was a setup. So I already knew like all the details of the case and knew nothing about this person. Just somebody just put them on the phone quick. Like I didn't know the person's name or nothing. So, and then she started crying. I'm like, why are you crying? There was two suspects involved. They were both brothers, and they were planning the robbery, because they robbed her first. And they were plotting. And they robbed her, and then they killed her and left her, and da 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 da. And so I'm like, wow. So that again surprised me. And so then they were like, well, are they going to get caught? And da 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 da. I said, I don't know if they're going to get caught because I'm driving. So first of all, I'm driving at the same time as I'm on the phone, and I didn't want to do that anymore because that was an invasion of my privacy. I didn't get no money from it, but the guy always bought me drinks, so it was cool. But at that point, I kind of drew a line and said, no, nobody's going to do this no more. So I'm going to tell people what I think I can do. So I left that alone for a while, and I started on my, I was on my alchemy and decoding journey, and going further and further and further. So now I figured when you learn how to decode, your psychic abilities increase, and you can read situations. You can see things most people can't. You can basically see something in a whole other room without being there, just by knowing how to decode. And I'm going to tell you how. Okay, so get your pen and paper ready. I'll wait. All right. Okay. Get your pen and paper. Y'all see I got a pen? Okay. I'll use this so y'all can see it. But, so here's a paper and pen method. You can test yourself. Okay, but you might need a friend to help you. I might get one of you guys to volunteer to help me. So, I don't know. Who wants to help me? I won't even pick. That way y'all know it ain't a setup. Okay, I'm gonna ask. Okay, I'm gonna pick someone I don't know who's not a regular. Dang, y'all going too quick. Okay. I'm just going to point to something. Okay, Tracy Coleman. Okay. Tracy Coleman, I don't know who you are, but hi, welcome. Okay, stop. Tracy Coleman, I need you to pick another person in here. This way y'all know it ain't random. Write their name. So Tracy, write a name that you see in the, dang, hold on. It's going too fast. Okay, write it quick so we can do this. I'm just going to show you guys an example. Okay, hold on. She said Misia. Okay, so whoever this is, Misia. Thank you, Tracy. Just so y'all can know that it's not planned. Okay, Misia. Okay, Misia. Now you have to do some work for me. Can you like type some emojis, like some stars or something? Misia with two S's. Misia Antoinette. Okay, thank you. Okay, so if you're still here, okay, thank you. I said, okay, Misia, here's your job. I need you to think, find a picture on the internet of a place. I just need a picture of a place. And I want you to like screen save it in your phone so you can know what it is. And there's no way I can know what it is, right? Ain't no way. And I don't want you to tell me I'm right when I'm not right. Okay. So everybody knows. So tell me when you have the picture. But when you get the picture, I want you to make up a random number and label the picture a random number, like a 4-digit number. It doesn't even matter. Just basically you're naming a picture, but you're naming it a number. Okay, so I'll wait for a second. Hurry up because we live. But anyway, this is how you're going to do it. So I'm going to use my intuition and symbolism to not name the place, but describe the place in a certain way. Okay, and then when she reveals the place or the picture, make sure it's easy to Google so that I can Google the same picture if you like. You have to log out. Oh, girl, never mind then. Okay. Girl, you don't have to log out if you're on the phone. You could just go to Google or that's okay. Come back. You can come back. Okay, you have it in your mind. Okay, did you label it a number? Give me the numbers that you labeled the place that you have in your mind. That'll work, I guess. Okay, make up a number. Hurry up, because this is. What have you labeled this vision? 1020. Okay, got it. Man, I got the wrong marker. Okay, 1020. Okay, 1020. Okay, give me. Okay. Okay, so draw your 1020 like this. This is what you're going to be doing with another person. So I drew her 1020 and then I drew a box. And now I'm going to just draw something random, a random whatever, just right at the top of my head after looking at the number 1020. This is what I drew. Okay, so it's an S, but it also looks like a half infinity symbol and also looks like a 2. So I'm going to go with all these symbols. So I have an S, a 2. It looks all kind of like a snake. Now I'm going to decode what these mean to me. Okay, so I would look up S in the alphabet and see what number S is in the alphabetical chart. See, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. So 26 minus 9 would be that number. So 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. So it would be number 17. And that would be number 6. Okay. Then we have, so we would look up what the meaning of 6 would be. Thank you, 7. Thank you, put 17. So look up the meaning of number 6, the spiritual meaning of number 6. 6, spiritual meaning. So this is how you do it with decoding. Okay. What does the number 6 mean spiritually? Now, this is just random. So, but this is how you can do it. Sorry, bad website. All right, so number 6 symbolizes intermediate and I hate looking on this phone, it's too small. And the writing is so small on this website. Intermediate transitional condition, a human being, da, da, da. In the Bible, it represents, this is too much. Like, I just need like a simple meaning. People overwrite stuff. So this is like one of the issues with decoding. People like to overwrite, and it's like not, it's very unnecessary. And then they overdo it. So I just need something simple and symbolic. Okay. 6 meaning. I'm just going to put meaning, 6 meaning. I don't need a whole blog on the 6. I just need like a quick numerology. Okay, here we go. Family, harmony, family, home, harmony, nurturing. Okay, so I'm going to need my pen and paper now. So whatever's in your mind or the place that's in your mind, it might have to do with family, harmony. Now don't tell nobody what it is. Nurturing, idealism, healing. Okay, so what is also togetherness. Okay. All right. So family, harmony, home, idealism, and healing. Okay, so that has to do with that. Now we have number 2, and I just had the number 2 earlier today when I did one of these exercises, and it comes up again, which is strange. But 2 basically means binary. I think about the 2 pillars. So you're also going to think about what physically could be like 2 things, like 2 pillars, 2 peaks, 2 mountains. There's something double or dual. It could be 2 different colors. It could be 2-tone. It could be 2 people or 2 objects, or, you know, a horizon with the sky and the ground. So you kind of just imagine. Okay, so I'm thinking something with 2. It could be 2-sided. There could be 2 things there, 2 people there. Okay, so now we go to snake, because the S kind of looks like a snake that I drew. And so I already know the meaning of snake, but you have several decoded meanings of snake. So snake could represent star. It could represent an angel. It can represent wisdom. It can represent something circular or straight. So it could represent angles and curves. It can represent also the colors of snakes, natural colors that blend in. So it could be a nature place. It could be something about family, harmony, togetherness, but somehow dual. And it could also have 2 things like a horizon or a sky. And there could be something to do with stars, wisdom, angel, or some type of natural colors involved. Okay, so now let me ask Masia. Antoinette. So now that I've gotten all that information, I've said, and see, I wrote it down, my chicken scratch. So now tell me what the picture was, or whatever you had in your mind, so we can see if it's accurate or very close to it. Yeah, snake says metamorph. I'm going to let y'all help me too. So metamorphosis, portal, da, da, da. Okay. Okay, so Masia, what was the picture? Or what was the image in your mind? I'll wait for her comment. You said S is 19, which is 1, right? I'm waiting for her to tell me what it was. It was Paris Eiffel Tower. Okay, um, so we have the binary, which is the horizon, because we have land and sky, because the Eiffel Tower is on the land and then it goes in the sky. I guess family, idealism, healing, togetherness, binary. And I think what I think the Eiffel Tower is like a giant antenna, right? And I think it brings a lot of people together and a lot of people there togetherness because it's a national monument or it's a monument, right? So she said Paris Tower, Soul Sucker, right? hmm So I basically got family, snake, dual, because that's what the Eiffel Tower really is. It sucks up souls, you know, because I know the meaning of it. But I wouldn't have said Eiffel Tower. I would have just come up with this. And then I would have said, okay, well, what could this mean? But that's why we needed a physical picture so people can see. I'll look it up for you. So I'll look up the Eiffel Tower. That was a very generic thing to say. I wish it was more complicated. But thank you anyway. Thank you. But I would rather it have been more complicated than just the Eiffel Tower. But the Eiffel Tower is complicated when you really think about what it is. So let's pull it up. When you think about it, it's a soul harnesser. Eiffel Tower. Oh, here we go. All right, here we go. So it is dual at the bottom. There's 2 and it becomes 1. See? So togetherness. This is how. All right, I'm just showing you guys. So there's 2 at the bottom. There's an arc, right? Archangel, snake, star, arc, right? And I did say angel. People keep texting me. Ugh. And then I did say horizon, right? There's the horizon. When I said the number 2, I said binary, two pillars, sky and ground, horizon. Then I said family or togetherness. And there's a lot of people there that are together, probably on romantic vacations, A, B, C, and D, right? And then I said angles, natural blend of something, greenery. There's probably trees and stuff around, and there are trees. Oh my God. Sorry, y'all. People just really just texting. I'm not texting back right now. So, I mean, I described it. I didn't tell you what it was, but I described using just the symbolism that I got from just randomly sketching this weird symbol, just without even thinking. And then the number that she gave me was basically like what I'm focusing on and what's connected to the image in her mind. So this is how you can use it to kind of build. And as you can see, it only took me a few minutes to do this. If I was really trying to figure stuff out, I could have done this for a longer period of time and then searched for, put this all together and maybe made it try to make more sense. And then come up and start looking at random pictures or random places and trying to see where these codes would fit, like what's binary that has a lot of people around it, that has, nature and trees around it, that's on a horizon, what am I looking for? So I could go and keep going and thinking like that. But as you can see, the way that it was set up, I did get all the descriptive things correct. So this is how you can build and increase your intuition using symbolism. Okay. But you got to know the symbolism in order to be able to describe the place. It's a shortcut to having to like really just take stuff off the top of your head and just hope that you understand what it means. So here's what I just quickly drew. So you're going to have to just randomly draw a shape or just a scribble or just whatever comes to the top of your mind. And then you look at that picture and what does it say to you? What does this remind you of? And then you go from there and start writing down the symbols. You can do as many as you want or as little as you want, depending on how much time you have or how detailed you want to get. So yeah, you would have a friend like maybe take a picture in their phone and email it to you and then do this exercise, like have her give you the number of how she referenced the picture, like a 4-digit number. And then when she emails it to you or he emails it to you, don't check the email, but just ask them to give you the number. Now, and then you draw a random symbol and then you start decoding it. And then you go check the email and see how accurate you were. Okay. And you can just keep doing this. You can do this with objects. You can do this with stuff that someone hides from you. You can do it with, I don't know, a person, maybe a celebrity, and see what comes up. Now, it's the better you get at it, the more accurate you'll be. I'll just say that. The more accurate you'll be. So, thank you. The more accurate you'll be. And then, but don't try to, this is the key, do not try to guess. That is where you will go wrong. If you try to guess, you will go wrong. Just do the symbolism and just do a random scribble scratch or whatever, a random shape or random whatever. Whatever comes to the top of your mind, as soon as you see those numbers, that's what you write. And that's it. So I guess you guys can try that. Another way to kind of increase your accuracy, of course, are stones and crystals that you can have around you. You can be holding them. They can be on your body, on your pocket, could be on your jewelry. This will also help you just in general to when you're drawing that scribble scratch thing. So because your frequencies are going to be raised and you're going to be able to pick up on a lot more. So elixirs, crystals, essential oils, whatever. So I have a Numite. This is known as the magician's stone. This is what a lot of higher up, this is called the magician's stone for a reason. It has a lot of energy and power. I use that. And then I have this, I think it's called a snowflake or a dalmation obsidian. I'm going to call it, y'all, I'm sorry. I know that was loud. A snowflake obsidian. Then I have the amethyst, of course, from the geode. And then a clear quartz crystal. And then I also have a giant crystal back here. So, yeah. This one's kind of like, looks like calcite as well as some quartz, but it's mostly like veined with the calcite. So anyway, and then I, of course, my elixirs. But you just do this if you want to build your intuition and build your connection with whatever's out there, whatever you're trying to connect with. A lot of people can use this to kind of read other people. Like if you're thinking about a person, I'm gonna tell y'all how to do it with a person. If you want to know what a person is up to, if they up to no good. If they up to no good and you don't have a person to help you, you can use their phone number or their address as the reference number or their birthday, whatever you want to do. But I would try to use their phone number because that's very specific to the person. Okay. So you use their phone number, whatever it is, write it down. And then as soon as you look at that number, after you write that number down, draw that random whatever. Okay. So let me think about it. I don't want to write down someone's phone number, but this, I mean, I don't know. But basically you write down someone's phone number. I'm just going to do 555 for y'all. You write down their phone number and you draw a little box, and then you're going to draw the first things that come to your mind when you look at that phone number. It could be, okay. So this is what I drew. It looks like a cursive L, but then right here, it looks like a loop or some type of tail. So I'm going to write L, tail. Then we're going to do the number of the letter L, which is 12. And so I don't know, this is just a random number, but this is how you would decode L as far as, decoding it. So then you got, I have the tail right here, and then I have cursive. So I'm going to write cursive. It's cursive, cursive. I don't know, I'm just going to write cursive. And then I see two, I can keep going. I have like two circles. So, sorry. I have two distinct circles. So 2 circles. And I'm going to see where I drew it. Is it in the center? Did I draw it more to the left or to the right? So more of this is on, I guess for y'all, it's on the left side, but for me, it's on the right side. So I'm going to put right mostly. And then I'm going to think about right brain, left brain, which is right brain more feminine. Yeah, so feminine side. So this is how you keep breaking it down. And then you research all of this and see if you could come up with some answers. Like, and then you could do number 12, or you can add it to number 3. So if I were reading this, I would say, okay, if this was a man, if I'm investigating a man, I would say, ooh, he's on the down low. Okay, if y'all can understand it, this dude is on the down low. And that is the number they give out in Hollywood. So, hey, because, okay, so L represents also like the number 12 and then number 3. So now you have 3 people in a love triangle. Okay, you and them other guys, the one you don't know about. Tail, booty. 2 circles. Okay. So that means, 2 circles, not, plus or negative, not, but the same, 2 of the same. Then you have right, more to the feminine side. Fem. Then you have, who's that? Yeah. So I'll say this, whoever got this phone number is on the down low. Period. And that's the number they give out in the Hollywood movies. It's a Hollywood number, a fake number. And then, so you don't decode the actual number that they give you. You just go from that cue that sets off the brain neurons to draw whatever thing you draw. Okay, our beautiful Shira, thank you for sharing your knowledge. Why don't rich, powerful white just steal or blood for free their souls in afterlife instead of giving away money and power for it? Because you can't steal melanated blood. Sprinkle. It doesn't work because it's conscious. It knows it's been stolen, and so it deactivates. Period. It's kind of like this. It's psychic. It understands what happened to it, and so it basically just stops synthesizing. Yeah, it's a consciousness, it's an intelligence. So if it is stolen, it won't work. You have to get permission, and because it's also connected to someone's DNA. And if they're happy about you having it or the exchange of it, then it's good. You're good to go. But if they're not happy on how you got it, or if they're upset about it, or if they feel a certain way about it, it's not going to work for them. So that's why, they try to be nice, give you opportunities and deals. This is what a lot of people do in Hollywood and the entertainment industry. They make deals, da da da. But they can't steal it. There you go. So this is something y'all could have fun with doing on, maybe Halloween. Y'all don't go trick or treating or watch horror movies. Maybe y'all can play this, increase your psychic ability. Play this game. A lot of people do readings with tarot cards. This is more accurate. I'm just going to tell you, if you are able to increase your abilities, this is a more accurate way to read stuff. Okay. Especially if you test it out and it always checks out, always. Start simple, like maybe with a shape, then increase to maybe like an object, then increase to like a picture, like of a place, and then increase to maybe like, a celebrity or somebody, and then keep going until you can do more. Like I have not really practiced this or tried to increase this for a while, because I've been doing other stuff, like actually learning how to decode even better and in more in depth, so that when I do try this again, it will be more specific and descriptive. hmm Oh yeah, that's a good idea. 2020. Let me draw 2020 and see what symbol comes to my mind. Let's see what's going to happen in 2020 at the end of 2020. This is interesting. Now I'm just doing this for fun, but let me see. 2020. Now, I don't know what I'm going to draw. It's just, y'all are going to just watch me do whatever, right? So I'm going to look at this number and then I'm going to just go right then and there. All right. So this is what I drew. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to look at it. Okay. It kind of looks like two letters. It kind of also looks like a wave, like a wave crashing on a beach. It also looks like the letter A. So I'm going to put wave. And then it also looks like CL. I'm going to put CL. I'm also going to put, it more looks like a CL than an A. So I'm going to go with that. One seems, let's see, where did I draw it in the center? It seems very even, right, left, so balanced. The C is in the beginning. The L, or this could be two C's, I don't know. But I'm saying, like, this could be two C's, right? Or it could be a C and an L. So either way, I'm just going to say it more looks like a C if you didn't see this side of it, right? So CC. All right, I'm going to take the L off. So we got CC, and they're both evenly down the circle. Down the thing. Even if I drew the line a little bit over, because I did draw that rectangle a little bit long, even if I took it right here, it would still kind of be very even. So wave CC balanced. One C is more open and the other one is more closed. So I would say closed, open on this side. And that's the right side, which is the feminine side. fem. Okay, masculine. And then I would say this has to do with balancing out the masculine and the feminine through a wave or frequency. CC, closed. This one is more closed. This one is more open. So I would say, and also it does match the duality of 2020 if you dissect it down the middle. So I would say this is what 2020 definitely represents just by the random thing that I drew. Now, I didn't know I was going to draw that, but it did check out, you see. So, and then also it makes me think of Chanel, which is also symbolic of what's happening right now with the two realities. You see, this is our world, this is the world, and then this is the merge of right and left. So the CC, let's see, mine were drawn the opposite way, but they were still connected. So two C's connected is this as well. I didn't know. I mean, I did know that this is the Chanel sign meant, but I didn't know that was the symbol I was going to draw when I scribbled. Okay, so it's coming from a connection and it's going through your brain, your neurons, through your nervous system, and you're just random. This is why I say everything is coded, even random things. And this is why if you learn how to decode, you can see so much more and understand so much more on a deeper level. And also kind of, you can use this for predictions. You know, like I could do 2021 and predict some stuff in 2021, baby. My sign is Pisces, baby, you know. The last sign, the most intuitive sign, but I could definitely work on improving it. But still, anybody can do this. We just take practice. You don't have to be no Pisces. So, do 2021. You want to do 2021? Do we want to know? 20. All right, so draw this square thing. Draw this box. All right. Y'all could try too. See what y'all come up with. Y'all do this too. See if we come up with something similar. That would be interesting, right? You could do group one. So go ahead and get your paper. Write 2021. Draw a square or a rectangle, whatever. And at the same time, I'll give y'all a second. We're not decoding the actual number. We're not decoding this number. We're just being triggered by it. Okay, so we don't decode this. We're just going to be triggered by it to draw something in this box when we look at it. Okay. All right, so I'll go ahead and start. Okay, so this is what I drew. Once again, very random, but still very interesting. So it's almost like the first sign that I drew, but it's more drawn out. This C on the okay, so if we're going from 2020 to 2021, this is a very similar symbol as I drew before. So I'm going to dissect it down the middle. Okay, so we have a distinct separation and a very long line. Okay, so again, to me, this does look like a C and an L, but this C is more closed. Like this is closed off. So the beginning of 2021, it's a C, but it's also turning into something else. It's evolving into something else. It's evolving into an L. So I'm going to do this way. C is also number 3. And it's evolving into number 12, which is also number 3. So we have the number 33. Okay. Y'all know 33. That's a Masonic number. So I think we're going to see a lot of Masonic things happening, a lot of Masonic rituals happening in 2021. I also see that it is definitely split binarily. There's going to be 2 separate things. There's going to be a huge separation of something. There's going to be um, a huge difference between two things. There's going to be a new system of things. There's going to be two new things. And I say number 3 and number 12. If you add those two up, you have 6. So once again, we have the number 6 here. And remember what 6 meant: family, harmony, nurturing, idealism, togetherness. And so I feel that when we add the two, but they're separate, I feel like there's going to be a separation, and that there's going to be unity on each side still. But I also feel that it's going to be orchestrated, because I'm getting the number 3-3. Okay. And I'm getting that it's going to be orchestrated, definitely. But let me look up 3-3 in my phone, just so I don't have to guess. But I'm just going to go ahead and look it up. 3-3 number meaning thank you, Terry. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So it means it's a master number, resonates with energies of compassion, blessing, inspiration, bravery, discipline, and courage. Let's see, let's go deeper. Pure love. Okay. Warm light. Universe has trusted. Light and the universe trust. Okay. The Greek numeral is AI or A. It doesn't matter. So it also means the second level of heaven. In some, okay. In Buddhism, this name try something with a T, and it means 33. See what else? Passion, joy. Okay. Also means wisdom and strength. Also means, let's see what it means in the Freemason meaning. The 33 degrees. And now, okay, so fraternal ties. I'm just getting the quick meaning, so we don't have to be here all day. People, let's see. They just don't want to put it real quick, do they? Have to write a whole article. Oh, thank you, Kendra. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So the degrees in Mason, also the number of the spine, the vertebrae in the spine. I know that. So that could represent also your Kundalini rising, new spiritual energy coming in. It could also represent, right. Yeah, it could also represent like the chakras and all that kind of stuff. So this is what I'm getting for 2021. Basically, the number 33, there's going to be a distinct separation or difference between two things. It could be people, but at the same time, it will also bring more harmony. So this could represent, how people were saying, oh, there's going to be like a event that may happen, and it's going to bring people together, but it's also going to separate a lot of things, or separate how things used to work. I don't know. So I'm not going to say specifically what anything is going to happen, but all I'm going to say is there's going to be a huge split of something. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be practicing more family and togetherness, or unity, I'll say. And then I'll say it's going to be a long, in the middle of 2020, there's going to be a long line until this part is reached. So, um, so this is the beginning of 2020, and then 2021. And then there's a line, but it goes up in emotion. So I see improving, like something that's improved right here, to a peak. I see a peak right here, and then falling off. Something falls off. So this could also represent, something increasing and then falls off, um, because it got to the goal or whatever. So I don't know. This is just what I got. But if I took longer and really just concentrated and did more and drew something more elaborate and just went longer, I could have probably found more. But I'm just doing the short version for the video. Okay. So if I would have did like a super scribble scratch, like, I'm not going to decode it though, but if I would have went like this, I'm like, okay, well, what does this mean? I could count the spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Gateway. See? I could look for symbols within this, or letters within this, or how it goes outside of the box. So there'll be like a think outside the box, something unexpected, not, something this is how I would do it. So this is how you have to learn how to decode using, and then you would decode the number 11, and then whatever symbols you saw, letter shapes, da da da. You could also do this with random words. Like you could sit there and write a topic that you want to expound upon psychically. And let's say, I want to know more about this person. I wrote this person, literally. And you just start randomly doodling and drawing, and just drawing whatever, not paying attention. Like you could be talking on the phone with someone, you could be doing a video with someone live, and just randomly, just not even pay attention to what you're doing, like I'm doing. I'm just making random marks over the whole sheet of paper, not even caring when or where it is. I'm doing it right now. Okay. So y'all see I wasn't even looking. This is what I come up with. I drew a star, actually almost 2 stars. But, and so I would go to look closely at what I drew. But if I was doing this longer, I would have probably drawn more intricate symbols. You know how when you're on the phone and not paying attention, a lot of people draw spirals, stars, triangles, dots, graphs, and stuff like that, right? This is what a lot of people doodle when on a phone, not really being conscious of it. So that's something that you can do when you're busy, is keep paper, but first write, a topic or whatever you're speaking about, or whatever is busying you, whatever you're concentrating on, or, doing. If you have a topic or a subject written on the paper, the doodles are going to be your, information that you would need to decode. Okay. And so this is how you can do it, but you have to also want to do it. And you also have to be in a positive mood, or a, not positive, but like a mood to where your frequency is up. Okay. And you can't be like skeptical, because when doubt comes in, there's a different path that your mind takes when decoding, when doubt when doubt starts to come in. You know what I'm saying? So keep your mind open and keep your, you know, decoding simple. Okay, when you're trying to interpret stuff like this, you need to keep your decoding as simple as possible and then build on it. That way you don't go too far off from what the meaning is. Okay, so then you build on that. Okay. hmm And so I guess we're going to be home more. If they're going to shut down some more stuff for the winter, you might as well work on your psychic abilities. And it also will help teach you how to decode at the same time, because that's what you have to do in order to get the information anyway. So it's a good way to practice your decoding as well as increasing your psychic ability with a goal in mind to get information on a certain topic, or just to even just test yourself. So yeah, I keep my frequency up all the time. I take my elixirs. I really don't have a lot of stress in my life, so I eat healthy. I drink a lot of water, and so my stuff is always pretty much good. But like I said, don't do too much. This is the part where you don't have to keep going. You just hit it, hit it, and step back. Okay, because if you go too detailed, you're going to lose it. You got to hit it just like you hit the symbol. Okay, and then you got to hit the meaning of what you see in the symbol, and then you can expound upon that meaning. Okay. So, how many of you have just tried it for the first time, or was trying to do the exercise with me and found your outcome pretty accurate or close to accurate? Just, you could put like a thumbs up emoji if it came out accurate or close to accurate. Yeah. Or was the symbol similar to what I drew? Like it would look like a CL or yeah. So did y'all get similar meaning of the year 2020 or the year 2021 if y'all did both? So did we get similar outcome? Yes, but in reverse. Okay. If you look into her eyes, you see the other word. Oh, thank you, Luna Leia. You said you're right. Positive is right. uh Thank you, Kryptonite. You doing what I call squalling. Use the day trading system works in predicting future pick price to correlate with time. Okay, well you're gonna have to show me how to do that. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you. Get your money. Um. So what did y'all get when y'all did it for 2020? You can just put it in there. I'll read some of it. You got waves, electricity, spine, and lower and higher. That's what you got. The Love Illusionist. That's very similar. hmm Hmm. So similar picks. Stop to watch it. Okay. Well, that's good. Everybody's getting something similar. So that's kind of also. Um, you said you got the Prince signal symbol. Well, that's the right and the left merge. It's the masculine and the feminine, and the Ankh rebirth, masculine and feminine merge. So same thing. Um, yours is more sideways. Anyone? Okay, so that's good. Everybody got something similar that wrote. Thank you. So this is also how you can kind of like check yourselves by doing the same thing with a group of people separately. Go to separate rooms and do it. teach them how to do it, and you go in this room, they go in that room, and maybe a third person goes into another room, and then y'all come back and meet up and see what y'all both all three got. Because sometimes you'll miss something that someone else will get, and then y'all can put it together and see what really is going to be the most, descriptive meaning. Okay. You got 3 and an ear. That's interesting. That's good. The ear represents receiving sound or receiving vibrations, which is the same thing I got, which is a wave. So a wave in an ear can represent that, a frequency that's coming in that you're receiving. And like I said, I did get into number 3 as well. I got 2 of them actually. So that's how you do it. And if everyone's getting the same thing and we did it at the same time, and because you're just getting the symbol that you scribble scratched. So if everybody scribble scratched something that is pointing to the same thing, then that's how you know it's working. Okay. You got the C shape also. Okay. We'll see. Everybody is connected. There's just a frequency you have to tap into, and you can't think about it. You just have to tap into it real quick. It's just like the moment a frequency goes through your head or through your body, or you pick up on it, your physical body is just going to have a natural reaction to it. And if someone's on the same frequency or trying to figure out the same thing, they're going to have something that also is very similar, so that they picked up on the same information. It's kind of like just picking up on a radio station that's floating through the airwaves. And so you're just going to pick up on it. You might pick up on, the same song. It's like you're trying to get to one station. Okay, let's get to the station 2020. Okay, we're trying to turn to the station 2020, and let's just say a Michael Jackson song is on. And so I get the word beat, you get the word right, another person gets the word defeated. And so we say, well, what song are we listening to? Beat It. Everybody came up with words from Beat It. Okay, well then that's the song that was playing on the radio up there in 2020 or 2021. So remember, time is on a frequency as well. So if we're all getting something similar from a specific year number, then we have to kind of put it together to see what we can get. So, that's kind of interesting and fun to do, as well as helping you raise your frequency, as well as helping you maybe prepare for something that is to come, also to help you have more confidence in your own ability, which helps you grow spiritually and helps you grow, frequency wise. Because a lot of people just, they're looking for a path. There is no path. They're just picking up on what already is. Okay. So just start to try to connect. That's it. Just connect. Okay. To go on a spiritual path is to go into one website. You have the entire internet. Don't just go down one path. Use the whole thing. Okay. So somebody wanted me to do a celeb. Oh gosh. I'm not going to be able to guess the exact celeb, but I could give details about the person. And if it's like very distinct details, and if I had a longer time, it could probably come out with a more accurate answer. So, and plus I would have to know the celebrity. So it has to be someone well known, not someone that you just randomly pick that's not very well known. It has to be someone well known so I can kind of pick up on it. And you also have to assign a number. You got to get a piece of paper. You got to write the celebrity name on there or a picture. And then you have to assign them a number and then give me the number. Okay, so somebody, let's pick someone today. I'll just randomly pick someone. Okay, happy, joy, I pick you. All right, happy, happy, joy, joy. If you have paper and pen, are you prepared? I already picked happy, happy, joy, joy. She's in the chat, or he, she. I don't know. The Patrick star is the icon, so I don't know. I don't know if they left or not. So if happy, happy, joy, joy is still here, let me know. Or I'll give her. Okay, hey, happy. Okay, did you write it down? Assign me a number to the person you wrote. Just a 4-digit number. Write down on the paper, and then write the person's name, and then send me the number. Happy, happy, joy, joy. I'm waiting on the number. Okay, maybe y'all understand English. Okay, do I have to pick somebody else? All right. Send me the number. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I'll give you one more 30 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, 2220. Okay, you came just in time because I was about to pick somebody else. All right, so she gave me 2220. Let me get my board. Thank you. So we're doing celebrity now. So I draw the number and I draw a square, rectangle, whatever. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to just do a scribble scratch, whatever pops into my mind when I look at this number. And that's going to be what we decode. Okay. You do the same thing. But let's see. Similar, but not quite. So I'm going to put it down the middle. Once again, CL. Maybe I'm just drawing that number over and over because it's the same numbers, because it's similar to 2020. I don't know. Maybe it's triggering me to draw that symbol. But this also can look, there's a long trail here. So I'm not really getting too much from this, but the same thing because it's the same numbers. Yeah. 33 is this person in the Freemasons. This person is definitely connected to the fraternal order. I'm getting more feminine energy. Is it a female? Okay, I'm getting the female. 33. Has a masculine side, but that's higher. She's higher on the let me see. She's kind of equal on the masculine and the feminine. She's a good mix, or he or she is a good mix between the masculine and the feminine. So on the same level. But at the same time, her allure is more on the feminine side. Her masculine side is more for balance and reference. So happy, happy, joy, joy. Come on, who was it? Let's name the celebrity. Happy, happy, joy, joy. I'm thinking it's either Rihanna or some type of female rapper. Someone who's very balanced but feminine, uses their masculinity as an anchor. Okay, happy joy joy. Reveal the celeb. Who was it? Kurt Cobain. Well, he definitely was in that fraternity. I said a celebrity I knew. Do you know how old I am? And he's dead. Well, there was a C in it. But honestly, very interesting. I guess we could go from there and try to see what the connections were. There was a C and a K, but you have the cook, and then we have the suicide, or was it a suicide? Really, was it a murder? Because I didn't really investigate his death. I was too young, and I really skipped, out on knowing that celebrity. So I kind of really didn't know him. Wished it was you would have picked someone that I knew. That would have been a lot easier, but I understand. But I guess musicians are more creative, and I don't know. I would have had to pick up on that because I would have had to known who it was or known of them. You said Kurt Cobain was very connected to his feminine side. Okay, well, I didn't really know anything about him. Mhm. I guess you could kind of decode for me what you got out of it. Right. You was gonna say, is he dead? You can do someone else. Yeah, y'all would have to pick someone that I actually knew because that's kind of like reaching too far back, and I don't even listen to that type of music, so I really wouldn't either. That name would have never even popped in my head, or I never would have been thinking of him. Um, I had a feeling it was a feminine white dude. Okay. How do celebs learn to decode? They have books, they have teachers, they have the internet. They know the game when they first get in it. They figure it out and they start. It's because if they don't learn it, they could get lied to and tricked and get into a bad contract, get into a bad deal, get messed up. So they have to learn. They have no choice. It's like if they don't learn, they're gonna get messed up. So they'll hire someone who knows it, like an occult teacher or someone who's really good at decoding, and they'll have them help them and kind of be their guide and teacher until they can do it on their own. But that's how they learn because you have no choice. If you don't learn, you'll get played. If you come in there like what they call fresh meat, you'll get taken advantage of and tricked and swindled very quickly if you don't know the code of the game. You could be setting yourself up to be a sacrifice. You could be setting yourself up to lose. Um, if you don't understand this code. And they will say it's your fault for not getting the information you needed. And it is what it is. So that's why you have to be very cautious when you go in there. If you're trying to get in the entertainment industry, very cautious of what you're doing, what you're signing, what you're agreeing to. You have to decode all the stuff before you even get involved. Like, let's say you're going to be an actress in a movie. What's the character's name? What's the movie about? Decode the movie. Decode the actress's name. Decode her role. Who are you portraying? How does this relate to what's going on at the present moment? Or the near future? Are you setting yourself up to be killed or immortalized? Which one are you doing? So that's why certain actors do not accept certain roles because they understand that those roles represent either a sacrifice or becoming an icon. And so people are very choosy on what roles they choose. Um, and a lot of times producers and people that make movies, and when they cast people, they cast you based on your name, your sign, what you look like, your yeah, so that you could fit the description of the character of what that character is representing in that particular movie. Thank you, Sierra Moore, Sprinkle Sprinkle. I appreciate and support you. Thank you, Shira, for spreading knowledge like no one else is, sending an abundance of love and gratitude to you and your subscribers. Oh, thank you, Sierra. Sprinkle Sprinkle. That was so nice. Very thoughtful. Thank you, girl. So, but thank you, happy, joy. I said thank you, because I'm reading your name twice. Thank you for participating. You did a good job. Thank you. All right, so now that you know how to do it, you guys can go and practice or have fun doing this. I think this is also a good way to grow your children's intuition. So, you know how they play video games all day, or maybe you need something to do for Halloween if y'all celebrate that, or, if y'all have like the kids don't want to go trick or treating this year, y'all could stay home and practice stuff like this, you know, watch scary movies and try to decode them. This is what I'm going to do. Well, actually, I'm only going to have one child because the other child is going to spend the night at their friend's house. But maybe we'll see. So we'll decode horror. Well, depending on which child it is, either we'll decode horror movies or we will play the game. So, and it also helps you, helps them keep an open mind so they don't get programmed, so deep, and that they can go in and out and they can learn this side as well as that side. So if you don't help your kids to stay open-minded and by doing certain things with them, like spiritually or, esoterically or whatever, their mind will go more towards who's teaching them the most and what has the most impact on them. So, for example, if they go to school and they learn 8 hours a day or 7 hours a day with a teacher or different teachers, they're going to be more leaning towards that direction when it comes to information. But if you are always constantly teaching them things and spending time with them, they're also going to have this side. So you must have that balance, or you must teach them whenever you can. Thank you, Alexis Moon, Sprinkle Sprinkle. Appreciate that. So like, I use our car time when we drive to teach by playing music that has symbolic meaning to it. And then I ask, well, what do y'all think this song means? Or I'll tell them, ooh, this is what they're talking about in this song. And I have playlists on my Tidal app, and I label my playlists like, different genres. But then I take spiritual songs or songs that have spiritual meaning behind them. It could be rap, it could be R&B, it could be old music, new music. And I put it all in one playlist for decoding. And I have a lot of different songs in one playlist that are very random genres, but they're all decoding. They're all, easy to decode. So I put them on for my kids. And so they're able to decode these songs. And we even have private jokes from some of the lyrics. And it's kind of code for saying something when you don't want to say something. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I do. Mm-hmm. I also look for different I look for similar storylines in movies, because a lot of the movies will recreate the same storyline over and over and over. And usually it's biblical, especially if it's some type of adventure movie or whatever. So like Harry Potter, the Bible stories. This new show that I started watching and finished all in one night, one day. It's on Netflix. It's called The Haunting. It's about this house or this manor in England or UK. Have y'all seen it? Okay, I don't want to do any spoilers, so I'm not going to talk about it right now. Maybe later. But that show is a basically the Bible, and also the story of Enki and Enlil, or Adam and Eve and the fallen. This, and also it's about the ionosphere and the different races having to work together to get out properly, and realizing what's real and what's fake. So just watch it. The two worlds coming together, two powers come together, feminine versus masculine. So I'm putting that out there for you guys who are watching it. Um, also, we've been talking about lately people that have been, using other people's blood or energy to live through them, or to experience or walk in their shoes, um, and to be influenced heavily by certain people, or shape shifting. A lot of that is in there. So just pay close attention, and you'll see it. You'll start to see all the ancient biblical stories, all the ancient Sumerian aspect as it relates to the biblical stories, the feminine, the goddess. You'll see. But they do it in a way where it's just regular people and characters, but you'll see the similarity if you understand the different stories. I tried to watch Lock and Key. I started like the first 3 episodes, so I have to finish that. Yeah. The name of the show I was talking about, The Haunting, or Haunting, something like that, on Netflix. hmm I also have different playlists of music that I want to listen to when I learn a little bit more. When I start to learn more, I'll listen to songs that I could not figure out before, and then I'll start to figure it out just by learning or reading a book, or just by learning a couple of more things. I can decode more in a certain song, and so it starts to make more sense, and a lot of things start to unfold. So that's how I also do that. When I don't ride around and just listen to music for fun. I don't do that ever anymore. It's sad, but it also raises my frequency, because I'm constantly learning and thinking, not just listening to music for no purpose. So anytime I'm listening to music, I'm decoding it, or seeing how multi-dimensional the lyrics are, or how they relate to what's going on right now, or how it's predicting what's going to come next. I don't just listen to music for enjoyment. I do enjoy it, but I listen to it for information. When I watch TV, I watch it for information, not entertainment anymore. Okay, I don't do that anymore. I'm beyond. I feel like I'm beyond being entertained. Now I want to be taught. So when I watch interviews, I don't listen to the actual interview. I'm listening for the code in the interview, especially if it's a certain person or certain people. And a lot of people do this because they're supposed to be giving out extra information. So they'll do the interview, but then when it's code, you'll see a body shift, a body movement, hands going in pockets, sitting up straight, talking louder, touching the throat, things like that. These are cues to when they're getting ready to speak to you in code, you know. So they might even repeat it. So it's easy to pick up on, especially if you're constantly doing it. It's like your brain automatically goes into, oh, he's talking in code now. And so you know how to separate when people are speaking in code and when they're not. You can see certain things. It's like, okay, code, not code. Okay. All of it's code, none of it's code. Okay, this part is definitely code because of what he just did or she just did. So that's why it's very important, because it can increase your psychic ability. It can increase what is to come. Like if you, because a lot of people know they're told beforehand before events are orchestrated, and so they're going to try to tell the public in code and maybe in an interview or a song or something. And so that's how you can pick up on it and kind of prepare for whatever it is that is to come. Or like I said, you can do your own research by using the method that I showed you earlier in this video, and then maybe their decoding them will confirm it. So you can definitely confirm your own research or your own intuition based on what other people are telling you, as well as what you're seeing in the current movies, the current music. It's all going to add up because that's the frequency that we're on now. Okay. You said, not exactly, okay, sporty butterfly is not exactly symbolism, but I asked a heart intelligence question about an acquaintance and felt tingling in my fingers as a response. Any ideas with it? Yeah, it means you should have been writing. It means, which, do you remember the particular finger? Because each finger has a different symbolism as well. So I would have, was it on the right hand or the left hand? Was it in both hands? I would also, like when your fingers start tingling, there's energy there. And that's why I was like, if you would have looked up like fingers, what part of the body are they associated with? What does it mean? Da, da, da. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The blue moon. Once in a blue moon. Okay, well, blue moon is definitely symbolic of a type of person. Okay, you can also do the astronomy of it or whatever, but blue moon is code. Okay, blue on the electromagnetic spectrum is a melanated person, a eumelanated person. Moon is a pheomelanated person. So this could be a mixed person, or it could represent two becoming one. It just like the picture I wrote for 2020 or 2021. It could be this when the two merge. It could be a Donald Trump or a Michael Jackson, a light-skinned black person or a dark-skinned white person. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Either way, we about to slide. A blue moon. Okay, so it's very much key. Like that's what you get when you decode the word blue moon, not what the actual meaning of a blue moon is. So your whole life feels like a narration from the TV to the movies, daily life activities. I'm living in the twilight zone. Yeah. Like, I think the more you become aware and the more your intuition increases, the more you're going to understand about this life and what it's for and what it really is and what you really are. But you have to keep going. Don't stop. Like, keep going. Don't just stop. And you can enjoy it as you go. But if you ever want to figure it out truly and be able to control it, you have to keep going, because it just keeps increasing your intuition and your abilities. You know how a lot of people think, oh, well, when 2020 comes or when 2021 comes, we're going to get these superpowers. Not if you don't know how to use them. Not if you don't know how to hone them. Not if you don't know how to get the information that you need. Not if you don't. Not if you're not connected. Not if you don't know how to become connected. Um, you know, so that's why it's important for you guys to keep learning and keep your frequencies high, because if some certain information is coming on a frequency that you're not high enough to get, then you miss it. Okay. So you're not just going to get it automatically. You got to be on a higher frequency in order to even pick up on it. You might get a little smidgen of it. You might get like a bleep of it. But to those who are on the higher frequency, they're going to get a lot of it. You know, it's kind of like, how strong is your radio signal? Thank you, HB, Sprinkle Sprinkle. And like, let's just say a new song comes out on the radio, and your radio signal is pretty weak wherever you are, but someone else's radio signal is strong. And when they go to listen to the new song, they get a lot of the lyrics and the meaning of it, and they can go decode it. But let's say your radio station, your antenna is not as good, or you're only going to hear bits and pieces of it and may not be able to put it together to get the information, you know? So you might have heard a beat or two. You might have, heard like 2 seconds or 3 seconds of it in a row. But compare that to the person that heard the song in its entirety at a high volume and was able to decode it and see the video. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that. So keep your frequencies high so that you can get more information and more, energy and more knowledge and more direction and more all of that. Okay. And that's a good way as well to make playlists and decode while you drive. That's going to increase your frequency, definitely. There's lots of songs that are out right now that have crazy sounding titles. They're not crazy if you know what's going on. So, like, let's see, I saw one crazy title yesterday. I'm like, oh my goodness. They're just putting it out there, aren't they? So I'm going to go to title. So Ariana Grande has a song called Positions, changing positions, changing power, switching positions. There's a song by St. John called Sucks to Be You. There's another song called Back, like I'm back. There was another song, I'll find top. Laugh Now, Cry Later by Drake and Lil Durk. Then we got WAP again. How's WAP still on top? I don't know. Then you have Damage, Pardon, and then Back again. There was some other songs that were up there yesterday. It was crazy. For the Night, Don't Stop, We Paid, Track 6, One Way Flight, The Box. Okay, so I don't know, some old stuff, but it's still up there for some reason. Sign of the Times, right. So you'll see a lot of synchronicities for sure start lining up as your frequency gets higher. So keep going. That means you're aligned, but you need to keep going because now you're, it happens to me a lot. I'll be reading something on my phone, like I'm doing some research, and at the exact same time on the television, the word is spoken as I'm reading it. And it's not like a word like thee or she. It's a word like very specific, like pumpkin, or, you know, veil, or, you know, flower or something like that. It's not the at a word. It's like a specific word. And also it happens to the kids too. Like I'll be saying something and they'll be reading something and they'll do the same thing. Well, you just read or said what I was reading. And so it's going to start to happen a lot because we're merging as one, and we're getting on the same frequency, and everything is lining up. Even random things are lining up. So, and a lot of things are alluding to, like, towards the end of the year, a lot of people are thinking something major is going to be revealed. Well, revelations, the truth is coming out. A lot of truth is going to come out. A lot of realization and revelations are going to come out, which means things are going to be revealed. And y'all know, okay, so I don't like spoiling stuff for people, but if you guys watched, if you're finished with the series The Haunting, I think, on Netflix, I'll just give you a little hint and clue. So, do you know how Donald Trump is always talking about drain the swamp? Drain the swamp. If you've watched that show, if you've seen the whole thing and its completion, they do mention trumpets in the show towards a couple of the last episodes. If you just listen very carefully. And they have this swamp. Okay. So I'll just leave that to your imagination. Okay. Yeah, we don't vote over here, or I don't anyway. See, love the confirmations and shared knowledge. Thank you. Thank you, Theodian. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Theodian is the one that makes the nice jewelry, you guys. The crystals and stones and the beautiful copper intricate detail. Thank you, Sprinkle, sprinkle. Check out his Instagram and his Etsy. Okay. Hello.
Hello. Can't afford your health insurance or high deductible?
No, I got money. It's a bot calling, asking if I can't afford something. Anyway. Decoding is just looking up the deeper meaning of something. That's like a number 3. Look up the meaning of number 3. The numerological meaning. I can't even see the word. The numerology meaning, the spiritual meaning, the biblical meaning, the definition, the origin of it, the etymology of it. That's how you decode something. You get all the information you can about it and see how it correlates or relates, how it relates to what is going on or what you're trying to get answers to. So it's like a symbol instead of a sentence. So if I wanted to tell you something, but I couldn't because people were listening and watching, and I wanted to give you a clue and a hint and stuff, and I just put up the number 3, you would go decode what number 3 was, and you try to put it together what I was trying to tell you. Something like that. Right. So it's almost like information in a small symbol. A lot of information in one small number. So that's, yeah. And like a lot of people are like saying, I think Joe Biden said Trump was the one that was, because Trump called Joe Biden saying he had dementia. He said Joe Biden has dementia. And then Joe Biden said, well, Trump is the one that has dementia because he calls 9/11 the 7/11. Right? I said, yeah, because he's speaking in code. Okay. If you don't know, then you won't know. September is 7. Sept 7. 7/11. 9/11 is not 7/11. They changed the months. Going back to the feminine, destroying the two pillars is going back to the one feminine. The merge. So you're going back to the old type of calendar or the old type of thinking when that calendar. So we go by the solar calendar, and they used to go by the lunar calendar, which is feminine. So 7 equals September. Dancing in September. That song, remember that song? Dancing is vibrating, moving fast, frequency. Okay. You have sept, which is 7, or scepter as well, which is what a king carries, which represents a soul. And then you have ember, which is a fire, or sparks, or the plasma, or souls. So you have a high frequency, a high soul and plasma frequency gateway coming in September. And the two pillars that were destroyed was trying to destroy the gateway for this energy to come in. And they did it on 9/11. And 9 represents the 9 ether or the 9th dimension. But really, Donald Trump says, oh, that was 7/11 as well. So they were trying to destroy a gateway. And then they built one building in the center to create when the two pillars become one. But at the same time, there was confusion because of the 9 and the 7. So whatever you believed and whatever frequency you was on, that's what that reality that you're on has created. Some people believe that was a real terrorist event. Some people know it was a false flag. Some people don't know for sure, but if you do all the information on it, if you go and do the actual research on it, you will see the truth in it. Okay, so and there's people that believe what they're told and people that go and do the research and get their own information. In 2020, you should be one of those people that are getting your own information. I'm just going to tell you that, because if you walk around in fear, it's because you're not doing that. If you walk around scared, it's because you're only receiving information but not processing it. I'll repeat that. The reason you are in fear is because you're only receiving information but you're not processing the information. And so it's kind of like if you send a secret message to someone and it says something like, aliens are on the way. Someone might take that as literal, and someone may break that down and do the research and decode what it really means. Or let's say a meteor is on the way, or an asteroid is on the way, since that's what's really going on. People are saying, oh, there's an asteroid on the way, but decode that. What's an asteroid? You know, look up the etymology of the word asteroid. Decode it, break it down. What is November 2nd? 9 to 11 gateway. What is an asteroid? A star, a stargate. Do you see? Not a literal asteroid coming to the earth, but an opening. Right where election day, right there. A stargate, a change, a shift, a new world. So a lot of people are walking around scared. Oh, we're gonna get hit by the asteroid. No, baby. Stargate, new shift, change. So decode, so you can know what's coming. Mm-hmm. 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 Do you still use pendulums? I like there's so many ways you can do um use your intuition. You can make up a way, baby. It don't even matter. So if you want to do spells, if you want to use a pendulum, if you want to read tea leaves, if you want to scribble scratch like I do, if you want to just decode stuff that's put out in the media, if you want to flip through a book and just put your finger on a random page, you can do all of those things because it doesn't matter. It's all on a frequency, the information that you're trying to pick up on. You know what I'm saying? It's like a Google search or a Safari search. You can use any search engine or go to any website or dictionary for the meaning of something, and you're going to find something very similar. So it doesn't really matter. Do whatever you like to do, what makes you feel comfortable, what raises your frequency the most. Um, a lot of people like, I still have my pendulum and I use it. Me and Sasha use cards sometimes when we're just, randomly just trying to impress or entertain ourselves or work on our intuition. You can use a spirit board. You can use a phone. You can use a ghost app. Sasha came up with her own method, or maybe I don't know if she saw it online, but she does the rant. She just rolls her finger over the phone keypad and let the auto spell or the auto correct put out random words when she asks why she asks questions. So either way, however you're going to get and pick up on a frequency is up to you. Whatever you're most comfortable with, or whatever you like doing the most, whatever you enjoy, I'll say. You could switch back and forth. It doesn't even matter. It's all the same. Just like religion, it's all the same, all of it. Hmm. Hmm. Do I think religious people will still exist in the future? I think yes, they will always exist to carry the story, to carry the code. It's kind of like a carrier that is not aware of what it's carrying. It's how information has survived through brainwashing or through storytelling for so long. Some people have to carry it without knowing what it is, you know. That way it gets carried on to the fullest. Hmm. But those who know understand their function. I'll just say that. So there is a function for religious people. They are just to carry the story and in its entirety, or or most of it. And then the people that are more open-minded will definitely study and then interpret and then decode the actual religion. So it's everybody has their role. Some people are just carriers, and some people are interpreters, and some people are, put they create whatever it is. Some people are the architect, some people draw the blueprint, some people just carry the information. So that's just what it is. Hmm. How can we really understand what you're talking about? And you can understand it by doing the work, like reading books, understanding alchemy, understanding spiritual alchemy, understanding symbolism, doing some reading and research, reading the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, reading the ancient Egyptian, pantheon and all the stories. It all adds up. It's all stuff in the Bible. A lot of the Bible stuff is code for what's actually going on right now. So the past and the present and the future are all one. Also, like if you just want to get to some information really quick, you can sign up for the Forbidden Knowledge TV, which is linked below. It kind of gives you all this background information or access to a lot of stuff you probably don't know and wouldn't know where to search. And there's a link below to join. You can join for 3 days for free and see what's on there. And then it's like $7.70, 77 cents a month. It's kind of like spiritual Netflix to catch you up on a lot of the stuff that you probably never thought you needed to know. So definitely it's a journey, a lifelong seeking of knowledge. So if that's not something that you're really trying to do, then if you're just what they call dabbling in this information, you're never going to fully understand it. You might understand bits and pieces here and there, but if you're not a lifelong student of this knowledge, then you won't be able to keep up with it or understand what's really going on by just looking or listening to a song or watching a movie. But those who are on that path of seeking the knowledge, they and keep following it and keep constantly learning, then they'll be more in the know. A lot of people that don't have time for that will usually either have a friend that understands it or they'll hire someone that understands it, like especially in the entertainment industry. But you got to be careful because a lot of people will take advantage of you if you don't know it, but they do. Okay. So it has to be something that's a choice, basically. You're asking me how to manifest customers to your business. Have something they want, and tell them about it, baby. You can't attract something. You can't attract someone if they're not also manifesting that in which you have. You see, it's not that simple. A lot of people think it's that simple. If there is no need for whatever you're selling or a want for whatever you're selling to certain customers, then it's not going to happen. So you're going to have something that people want or the idea of what they want. Because most people don't buy products. They buy the presentation or the feeling that they get when being offered or sold the product. So you're going to have to figure out what it is people want most, and that's how you need to promote your product. Okay. What are people trying to attract the most? What are they manifesting for the most? Is your product? How does your product line up with that? How can you present your product to line up or your services to line up with what most people are manifesting? That's how you do it. So it's more of it's not a question, it's a solution. Find the solution. Don't ask the question with no intention of finding the solution. So that's another way, this decoding stuff and spiritual, thinking will have you thinking. It will. All the obvious answers are right before you. You just did not take it further after asking a question, or even if it's asking a question to yourself, how do I get customers? With manifesting, you just have to figure out what it is they're manifesting and meet them in the middle. What level or place will religious loved ones that die have in the spiritual realm? Well, sadly, depending on who they are and what their frequency is, most people will try to go up into the heavens, or it also depends on how you get buried, too. That's the bad part. I talked about this yesterday on my live, how you dispose of the body also has a lot to do with what happens. That's why a lot of the ancient, you know, Egyptian used to use specific ways to mummify the deceased because it was very important in order for the soul and all that energy within to be able to leave the body in the fullness that it needed to leave. And that's why they had like all the stuff written in the tombs on how to get to the afterlife, the instructions, because it is very important. Because if you don't understand religion, if you can't decode religion, you might commit what they call spiritual suicide, or your family may, trap your soul unknowingly by, having you embalmed and sealed in a casket in a bronze or cement vault buried 6 feet deep underground. That sounds like a soul sealing contraption to me. Unless they are going to wait 3 days before touching your body so that all of the soul energy can be released. In some religions, like the Muslim religion, they bury the person the same day, but their body has to be touching the earth. That way it could go back into the earth. Or the plasma can, leave your body, or your soul will have at least 3 days to naturally leave your body in the physical state. But if you they don't do embalming. So the blood is still with you, the organs are still with you, all of that. But for people that get embalmed, their blood, which holds a lot of their energy and plasma, as well as their organs and are being removed and taken out and put into like a medical waste sewage system, which is then combined with a bunch of other people's bodily fluids from the medical, sewers. And so that again brings me back to that pink sludge on Ghostbusters 2 underground, you know, what I would call a. So anyway, that's why I'm getting cremated after 3 days of being dead. Be careful. It's the amount of knowledge that you know which determines your afterlife. That's why the Egyptians focused so much on all of this information and the afterlife. People thought, oh, they're obsessed with death, but they're not trapped, and they weren't, commingled with other people's energy and souls, and they're not still underground, trapped in a sealed casket before they were allowed for their soul to leave. They even had certain methods of extracting the soul essence when doing their mummification process. So a lot of people just don't question things. They just take, oh well, this is what my mom did, so this is what I'm gonna do. We have to get out of that. We have to seek our own information and come up with our own way of doing things best suited for us. We have to individualize everything that we choose to do now, instead of just doing what was tradition or doing what's always been done, that was given to you by someone that doesn't have your best interest in mind, that was given to you by a whole different culture, that was given to you by someone that just wanted to exploit and make money off of you. Okay. So you got to be smarter than that. You can't just accept it as, oh, well, this is what it is. You got to question it. And that, I think that's what 2021 is going to be about, separating the programmed and the free thinkers. Okay. There's programmed people, and that there's people that think freely and they do their own research and they make their own decisions. So, for example, we'll take coronavirus, for example. There are people that deathly are afraid of coronavirus and catching it. Then there are people that have researched a lot, did their homework, studied it, and say, oh, okay, well, and studied their environment and what everything that was going on around them. They became scientists. They say, okay, well, 5G is coming, 5G's out here. That's a lot of radiation, and okay, this coronavirus thing, a lot of stuff in people's lungs, they can't breathe, radiation and lungs. Google. Oh my gosh, cancer patients that get radiation therapy also get this pneumonia-like illness due to radiation. So what is the answer for that? Oh, what did they do? Take them off dairy and meat because it's a mucus causing. And lots of cancer patients are on vegan or vegetarian diets because they are going through chemical and radiation therapy. So maybe if all these celebrities are saying go vegan, maybe it's a warning that 5G is coming, and you'll be less likely to have mucus in your lungs to be radiated and multiplied by 5G plus UVB radiation. And oh my goodness, now I have the corona. You see how easy that was? All I had to do was Google like 2 things and pay attention to what's going on instead of walking around being scared, sanitizing. Just cut the meat and dairy and get healthy, lose weight. And all through CNN, oh, coronavirus, COVID, but never once did they say lay off the meat and dairy. They gonna stick a meat and dairy commercial right in between the newscast. The dairy industry, drink this nasty milk, Whole Foods. By the way, coronavirus is at the highest level in the USA. Yeah, the USA has the highest level of sleep people, the highest level of unhealthy people, the highest level of people that don't think for themselves. So of course, coronavirus is going to be the highest. Hypochondriacs that probably go get tested every week after work. Donald Trump said, well, stop getting tested. And then on the news, they'll say COVID or coronavirus. Those are 2 separate things. So when you see coronavirus, that's simply the flu. Okay. When you see COVID, it's just the flu or the illness created by 5G. COVID means with life. Okay. So if you don't want to get COVID, stop eating meat and dairy or mucus causing foods, and you should be fine. Okay. They will never tell you that though. All these Dr. Sanjay Gupta and with that doctor, what's the dude's name? He will not get up there and tell you to stop eating meat and dairy. They won't do it because they can't sell a vaccine if there's nothing to sell a vaccine for. They can't sell a government experiment with, to inject inside of you if there's nothing for them to try to cure. So if you don't want to take a vaccine, then get off meat and dairy. If you are fearing around, oh, I'm in fear that they're going to make a vaccine and they're going to make me take this vaccine, you won't need no vaccine. You won't need to go get corona tested. You won't need to do all of that if you get off meat and dairy. Okay, just letting you know. Just letting you guys know. You won't have any symptoms because you won't have any mucus in in enough mucus to even cause a symptom. Okay, they got substitutes for everything now. You guys got to find a substitute or walk around fearing. Why do I think this? Because I've done the actual research. Why? So if you go do the research, you'll come to the same conclusion. That's it, because it's science. You can't really disprove science after it's been proven over and over and over again. So go do the science on it. And another thing, like a lot of people, they should not disagree with anything if they have not, in fact, done the research themselves. You can't just say that's not true if you haven't done the research. I would say go do the research. Don't just take what someone gave you and run with it. You go do the research. You see what you come up with. Don't just believe what people tell you. You do your own distinct research and you take your own notes and you put 1, 2, and 3 together and see what you figure out. Okay. Don't make it a habit to debate people without doing your own research first. And I don't really debate people because most of the time those people have done zero research. So, or, if they have, then they don't even want to debate. They just want to build and give and exchange information because they respect a researcher. Okay. People that want to debate want to disprove the other. And that's not what it's about. It's about getting information to help people figure stuff out. It's not about a debate. It's about, do you have the information that will help me or not? Because the news does not help you. The news will never say that out loud because the meat and dairy industry would suffer. And that they could possibly get sued by the meat and dairy industry, like Oprah did back in the day. So they can't tell you because of money, baby. But on the other hand, money is worth more to them than your life. And they just want you to do your own research anyway. So will you be reunited with your deceased spouse? Nuh-uh, because it was till death do you part. They probably gone on to the next, baby. Sprinkle, sprinkle. No, honestly, if they want to wait for you, it's their decision, I think. If they have a choice, because sometimes people don't have a choice on what they could do in their afterlife. If they don't know first of all, is their soul free? Were they able to get to where they needed to go spiritually? So you got to ask yourself all these questions. Well, it's their choice then. There is what? True. Are the spirits stuck 6 feet under or meandering around in this dimension? I mean, if you think about it energetically, depending on because the process that someone goes through when they die, especially if you go through a funeral home and get embalming, it's like stuff is just taken in so many different directions. You know what I mean? That's why in the old days they treated a dead body very sacred, and they didn't do certain things that they do today. So I just say wait 3 days and get cremated. Forget being buried. Okay. Unless you're going to be directly buried in the earth with your body touching the earth. And they have this new thing now where you could be buried in with a tree or something like that. They take your body and they would put you in the sack under like a tree, and they would plant the tree. I would never get embalmed ever. Don't get embalmed. Hmm. That's why they tried to shut down that Dr. Sebi um, documentary with Nick Cannon right before Corona came out, because his whole message was mucus causes disease. Right. And he was trying to put it out the right time, but they shut him down. And so a smart person would have been like, oh, why did they shut him down? Who is this Dr. Sebi? And what did he teach? Let me go run and find it since they didn't shut it down. Oh my goodness, Dr. Sebi teaches about eating and this and that, and what causes mucus and A, B, C, and D. So he said all mucus causes disease. Okay. Well, okay, what is this coming out? What's this challenge? What, go vegan for 2 weeks challenge? What's this mean? Why are all these celebrities going vegan in the world? What's this new vegan meat? Why is this being thrown in my face? Ask yourself questions. Oh, let me go research this Dr. CBD. Okay. Oh, let me try this for 2 weeks because I like Beyonce. Okay. Oh my gosh, my skin cleared up. I lost weight. I don't have allergies anymore. There's no nasty mucus in my lungs when I wake up in the morning. Oh, I'm gonna stay this way because A, B, C, and D. Uh-oh, what's this new thing? Corona. Oh my goodness. You know, what's this new corona coming out? Oh my God, it's COVID. Oh my God, people are dying everywhere. Oh, the people that died the most had underlying causes. Very unhealthy, overweight, meat and dairy eaters. Oh my goodness. Well, good thing I'm not that. So when you start to look back at the timeline and what was really going on and the things that they were trying to highlight to you and they were trying to draw you to and tell you before the thing happens, this is why it's good to decode and to pay attention to stuff, and also to kind of understand that warnings are always given. Warnings and precursors and information is always given prior to any type of event, any type of illness, any type of release of something, so that the people with the understanding, or at least the people that are more curious to listen, or move towards a solution that is beneficial, will get the information. Yeah, shadow warnings. Thank you, Enchanted Waters. So yeah, these are called the shadow warning. They will give you the information to help you, and to help you understand and be prepared for what is to come. And so when you understand that, then you're less at risk for what is about to be released. They already knew it was going to be released, so they were warning people. It's not some fluke thing. It was always planned. Okay. And when you start to decode, you will see all of this was always planned, and you'll see the warnings before the thing goes down, and you'll be able to prepare. And so you'll be fine. A, B, C, and D. Mm-hmm. And, it doesn't have anything to do with diet or what you choose to eat. If you have mucus in your lungs or in your body, it ain't good. So do with that information what you will. Okay. Extra mucus in your lung. If you wake up and cough up and have hacks, and that ain't healthy, baby. So however you're going to get rid of that, maybe find some foods that get rid of mucus. Mm-hmm. Find a balance. Like for some people, they can find a balance if you're smart If you're smart and you say, I ain't giving up no meat, I ain't giving up no dairy, well, find something you can eat with that destroys mucus at the same time. Just as much meat as you eat and much dairy as you drink, find an alternative to eat and drink whatever deletes the mucus caused by eating that meat and dairy. I mean, people can figure stuff out if they sit and thought about it. People just are lazy and just want to be told instructions like they're in the military or they're some type of robot. They don't have the free thinking to get up and do their own research and figure out their own plans. So it's just common sense to me because I don't trust anything that comes. I don't trust anything that's not going to give you the obvious answer, like diet. I don't trust any system that makes money off of sick people, and I don't trust anybody that practices cures versus prevention. Okay. That's practicing the law of cause and effect in reverse, and it is backwards. It is not with universal law. So you are not with universal law if you practice cause and effect backwards as far as treating an illness versus preventing an illness. You are not in line with the universe if you do whatever it is that you do to get ill, eat bad, drink, do drugs, do whatever, and then want to go rush to the pharmacy and the doctor to get a temporary relief. You are going backwards with universal law. This is why a lot of people have issues manifesting and thinking, because they're thinking and doing everything in the opposite direction of what you're supposed to be doing. And so if you don't understand why stuff ain't going right, it's because you're not living by universal law. And that goes for everything, not just your spiritual stuff, but your physical as well. If you can't live by universal law in the physical, and you only try to do it in the spiritual, well, then you're physically going to suffer. So be smart. Use what you know and incorporate it in every aspect of your life. Don't just research spiritual stuff, research everything. There's no separation. If you try to separate it, you'll end up just like you're ending up. That's when they tried to separate alchemy and chemistry and astrology and anatomy. They separated it all, and that's why they could never get a straight answer, because it's supposed to all go together. I don't talk to dead animals, baby. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I'm sorry. Like, I am not Dr. Doolittle, baby. Dr. Doolittle, Miss Cleo, no. Your animal said that he's dead. Leave him alone. Move on. Get another one. He said he'll see you in the afterlife. Like, honestly, girl, animals are animals. They do have a soul, but they have a whole different soul. They have a whole different afterlife. Okay? They have a whole different afterlife, a whole different frequency. So unless you are on the frequency of a dog, I don't know if you'll be able to rejoin. Okay. Am I editing and shortening my videos? Nope. They just have to finish loading and then come back and watch later. You're getting ready for a date. Well, good for you. Do you trust me? I don't trust anybody. Sprinkle, sprinkle though. I'll double check everything you tell me, but I'll trust to double check you. You got to trust yourself to understand that type of thing. You know, it's not that I don't think you're a good person. It's just that what if you made a mistake, or what if something different happens, or something new comes about and your information is dated, or what if that's not good for my financials, but it's good for yours? You know, like that's also how people will choose to vote depending on their financial situations. What's good for the rich is not good for the poor. What's good for the poor ain't good for the rich. So it just depends on whatever perspective it's coming from. Mhm. Like a lot of people will say, oh, well, if you vote Democrat, they help poor people. Oh, well, if you vote Republican, they want, you know, they'll they want people to get stuff on their own. You know, or they want to raise taxes over on Joe Biden's side, and you know, da da da. Da. Well, depending on who you are, depends on if that's positive or negative for you, right? Either way, they're going to do what they were going to do anyway. Don't matter who's in the office. It's just a way of justifying what they're planning to do. That's all. So you blame it on them, and there was like, oh well, that's who you voted for. And then the next time people vote for the other way, to try to get a relief, or there's no voting at all, or there's, I mean, less people voting because they're just upset. So either way, they were going to do what they were going to do in the first place. They just needed something to blame it on, and then they could turn around and blame it on you for who you voted for. And so you never really look to the real implemented plan, and you just, oh well, I guess it's my fault since I voted for that person, or I guess it's those people's fault because they voted for that person, and then I guess it is what it is. We got to get this person out of office because A, B, C, and D. When it has nothing to do with that person, and it has nothing to do with you, it has everything that was already implemented and put in place to be done anyway, but you just needed to believe it, and that it wasn't already orchestrated. So it's just a way to pacify you to not even ask questions. hmm But if you already know that they're what they're going to plan to do, or if they what they plan on doing, you can already be prepared, and so that it won't bother you. Instead of trying to change it, or whatever, you already know whoever win, this is what's going to happen. So I guess I should already be prepared. I should have had a stash. I should have had a third and fourth source of income. I should have been already prepared for this, because I know it's always going to be ups and downs, period. That's just life. You go look at the pattern, you go look at history, it's ups and downs, always throughout history. If you don't understand patterns, graphs, charts, and you don't understand what's up and what's down, and you just keep thinking everything is going to stay up, and you don't understand the law of rhythm, then that's your problem, because you don't understand universal law, and you depend on going and checking a box thinking you can change the pendulum swing of universal law when you really can't. And so you get messed up on the backswing because you didn't prepare and you don't live by universal law. It has nothing to do with anybody in an office. Prepare for yourself, not for who's in office. Yes. Just live by the universal law and you really can't go wrong. Pendulum swing up and down. Prepare. There you go. Some years there's going to be high unemployment. Some years they're going to be low unemployment. Some years there's going to be a big issue, disease, national disaster, bad weather. Okay, next year it's going to be good. Next year, oh, bad. Next year, good. Next year, bad. Now, how can you prevent yourself from being affected? Plan. Plan your rise. That way, when you fall, you still have something to rise with. You know, you're not depending on something else to help you because you did not prepare for the rise and the fall, which you've seen coming since you've been birthed. Okay, just think like that. Right. So just prepare for the fall. Prepare for the backswing of the pendulum always. And while it's rising, get your money. While it's falling, if you're smart enough, you would have figured out how to get your money while it falls. Okay. Oh, the pendulum is falling back to the opposite direction. Well, if you had planned, you would have known how to make money on the way back. You know. Well, what's going to be in high demand now? Oh, mask, hand sanitizer, A, B, C, and D. What's going to be on the way back? Oh, shopping, clothes, beach, vacation. Each way you're going to make money if you understand the pendulum swing and you understand the orchestrated events and you understand, what's to come. You can make money on both sides. But if you just live by what they're telling you and you don't do your own research and you don't live by universal law, then you are just going to be part of the effect. You will never be the cause. You will always be part of the effect. But those who tap in and understand and live by universal law and see what's coming and they know it's always going to be ups and downs, they're going to be able to prosper off of either way. So get out of the pawn, get out of the flock, get out of being a pawn in the chess game and become the king or the queen. Be able to control that board instead of the board controlling you and sacrificing you as the sacrifices. Okay, be smart. Yeah, the news will have you panicking, making decisions you wouldn't have made, spending money you don't have, doing the wrong opposite things in order to create that downfall, because they have to create the downfall. This is why they go so hard on the news to create the downfall in order to create the upswing. First, you got to fall, then you got to rise. So they're going to make you fall hard so you can rise harder. But there's a lesson to that, to where you don't ever have to fall again. It'll just be a swing. Okay? And you can say, wee. Okay? A fall, a rise and a fall to someone who practices universal law is a swing. So just think about it like that. So, oh, this is fun. You don't lose, you don't miss a beat, you don't stop. You just keep moving because you already know what you got to do. So stop watching the news unless you're decoding it. Your mother swears by CNN. Girl, they be lying left and right, but they also talk in code. So if you can decode, just pay attention to when they talk about coronavirus versus when they have coronavirus on the screen, they're not talking about COVID. They're talking about the flu. When they have COVID on the screen, they're talking about when that 5G frequency is high and people are getting that radiation pneumonia. So there's a difference. They will all the words are very important. Coronavirus versus COVID. Yes, there's a bunch of coronavirus going around because that's simply the flu. And people that get tested for it, if they've had a flu vaccine, if they even had the flu before and they get tested for whatever, they gonna have some of that co- uh, coronavirus in them. You see how silly it is now? See how stupid it is? Oh my gosh, I have the coronavirus. Everybody got the coronavirus. If you ever had a flu or a vaccine, you got the coronavirus, period. If you're unhealthy and can't stand a high amount of radiation, such as 5G and up, you probably gonna get COVID. Okay, that's it. Got if you're unhealthy, have a lot of underlying causes, got a lot of mucus, and they raise that radiation up, it's going to lower your immune system, and whatever's already lurking around in your body is just going to wake up and go into action. So use your own brain, do your own research, and you'll probably be able to save yourself a lot of worry and pain and suffering. Mhm. This the CDC death toll for the end of this year is for total U.S. death toll is going to be less than in 2017. So there's less people dying now than there was in 2017. Good to know. See, they will tweak those statistics because let's say you're 89 years old, you're in the hospital, you get tested before you die, and they find coronavirus on that swab. Even though you died in surgery, even though you died of natural causes, they're going to swab you and say you got the coronavirus because most likely you do. As an 89-year-old person that died of natural causes, you also have coronavirus. You tested positive for coronavirus before you died of your natural causes. So therefore, we can cause a natural death. We can call a natural death a coronavirus death. And how old was this person? Oh, he was 79, 89, 99. Oh, okay. They was going to die anyway. And then they'll have like one or two cases. Oh, it was a 40-year-old person that died. Okay, well, how did they die? Motorcycle accident. Oh, in surgery. Oh, how healthy were they? Do they have any underlying causes? You know, and so remember, coronavirus and COVID is totally different. Everybody has coronavirus if you've ever had the flu. That means it's inside your body already. And when they test you for it, that's what's going to come up positive is that you've had a coronavirus. Because that's not a specific disease, that's a type of virus. And there are several different types of coronavirus, which is a flu. So when you start to do your own research and you just think for yourself, you will just simply laugh at how stupid um, that they think you guys are. They think people are so stupid that they're not going to catch this. They're not going to catch that coronavirus is the flu and that this person who died of natural causes is definitely going to test positive for it because they probably had it a couple times, in the last couple of years. So when people start to hype up stuff, you have to understand why they're hyping it up. They're creating that huge pendulum swing for you so that you can feel like because it's your frequency that creates the rise and the fall. You think, oh, we're doomed. We're falling. We don't have jobs. People have the flu and are dying at 89 years old of being tested of the flu. Um, you know, but y'all are calling it the coronavirus. We have to wear masks everywhere. We have to cover up. We have to have masks everywhere. And so the exact opposite of that is no more illness, no more masks, complete freedom, employment, So basically they're not even improving anything. They're just taking you away from you to give you back right what you already had to begin with. Okay, so it's not like, oh, the economy is doing good. Oh, we're healing. The coronavirus is back. Everything is grand again. It was the same. You right back where you started. Never had to leave if you didn't want to. So I know I didn't. The only thing that I had to do different was wear a stupid mask in the store when I want to go to the store. But nothing changed for me. I have the exact same life as I did before that, Corona, and after it. The only reason that so many people are affected by it is because one, they believed in it, and two, they did not depend on themselves, and three, they did not heed the warning signs. Okay. Why do you think all those major artists were on tour for the majority of 2018 to 2019 going hard? Because they knew they weren't going to be able to tour for a whole year or the year after that. So they went 2 shows, 3 shows sometimes in one city, and they just went back to back to back to back to back. And then they like, okay, well, we're not gonna be able to do any shows for 2 years, so we got to really go hard. There was a lot of concerts in the last few years by artists. Everybody went on tour at the same time because they knew what was coming. They knew that they weren't going to be able to go on tour for a while. So they knocked it all out, got their money, and now they're all doing side projects like clothing, shoes, because they already knew no tours. So just keep an eye out, be observant, pay attention to what's going on around you, do your own research. Use your intuition to also, like in the beginning of the video, use your intuition and build it so that you can see what's coming and the warning signs and that they're putting out for you. And so you can also teach other people and help other people because people are going to call you crazy and, oh, you don't know anything, CNN is correct. Okay, whatever. CNN makes money off of creating certain things so that you do certain things. They get paid to program you in a certain direction to a certain frequency. That's all CNN is. Let's decode CNN. 3 N would be 14 and 14. So you'd have 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You'd have 13. That's Illuminati, baby. 1 plus 3 is 4. You get 13. Just keep it at the 13 and you be good. And if you transfer it to 4, y'all can look up what that means, but I'm not trusting no CNN. Illuminati news, basically. CNN 13, baby. The death, yep. Osiris. Look. Yep, that's true. You said in Fox is 666. Right. So y'all have fun with that. Trust yourself. That's what I'm saying. They don't even have a 13th floor in buildings, but y'all gonna watch the channel that equals 13. Right. You said, why am I here? To understand. To get more instructions. There you go. That's why you're here, to understand and to get more knowledge. They never have a 13th floor in the projects in New Jersey, bad luck. They say they don't have it in many buildings. The last building I stayed in, I don't know about that one. The second to last hotel I stayed in, they had a 13th floor. It was an old building though. It's an old building. You said the flu shot is mandatory for school kids here in Massachusetts. Um, there's amendments you can get. I don't know about your state specifically, but sometimes they'll allow you to turn in an amendment saying that you affidavit saying that you don't have to vaccinate your child, and it's like from the government. So, like what they say, if you're vegan, you can say, is there any is there, I forgot the name of it, but basically there's stem cells and um, the vaccine. So to put that into your body is non-vegan. So you can use the excuse that you're vegan to not be vaccinated. There you go. Someone says, say you're Jehovah's Witness. Yeah, I put spiritual on the affidavit. I put spiritual reasons why they can't get vaccinated. And they have to respect your religion because that's what America is founded on. So you have to go through that route. You don't have to specify your religion. You just have to say spiritual reasons. Okay. You said, what if you're anemic? What about it? People are always asking about diet. Do your research. You know, people always ask questions but don't want to do the research. The research means go look it up, and if you seek the answers truly. There can't only be iron in meat. There has to be iron in several other things. There's more things that are not meat that have iron in it than meat does. If you take a number of vegetables and fruit, or vegetables, grains, and whatnot that have iron in it, and compare it to just meat, you're going to have way more over here than you do for meat. Now, it is your decision and your choice to go and do some research to get several ways to get iron versus one way. You see? So when people just tell you iron equals meat, that's just not true. Iron equals several things, and most of them are not meat. So when you start thinking preventative, you start doing your own research, you will find the answers and the solutions to anything. But you have to want to look for it. You can't just question something without doing some research or wanting to do the research. Hold on, I got a call and I just dropped it. If I recognize, nope, I don't recognize that. Okay. You said people are just out here trying to function. Right. If you're really upset, how do you get over it? Stop being upset. Stop caring about whatever you're upset about. And start focusing on something else that's beneficial and prosperous. That's how. Like, why waste time on something that is negative? Birds keep swarming and swooping down on me. What does it mean, girl? What kind of birds? It's like, what kind of birds? You know what, Stephanie? If you go watch this movie called The Birds, it's an old Alfred Hitchcock movie. When they turn the 5G on, when they turn on 5G on a high level, it messes up the bird's internal compass in their head because the electromagnetism of the earth and those birds are lined up. And so when they put out that all those signals and phone signals and 5G and internet, it's messing up the bird's internal signal. And so a lot of birds are now like, remember when 5G first came out, they kept showing on the news all these birds was found dead. All these birds were just dropped dead. All these fish were found dead and all this and that. Y'all remember that a couple of years ago? And now birds are swooping on you. Um, it's because of the 5G. Okay. Um, when Rona first started, what did you say? My man was telling me how birds were dropping in front of his job. Dang. See, Corona is just 5G turned up to probably 6G. And whoever is unhealthy is going to get affected. That's all it is. They turn up the 5G to shift the planet. They turn up the 5G to raise the frequency of the planet. That's why in the last few years, they started putting up all those 5G towers, because that has to connect to all the ley lines, that has to connect all the frequencies to 5G to shift into a higher 5D reality. And that's what's going on. And during the shift, a lot of people aren't going to make it. And so they basically die of coronavirus or COVID. This is also the purge and going from you know, the old world to the new world. So they want to attack you. I don't know why. It's your frequency, girl. You better get your frequency up. Stay away from them birds till you get that frequency right. I don't know what it is. Maybe you need to wear some stones and crystals or something, girl, to balance your flow. Like pyrite will do that for you. You wear like a pyrite stone or carry a pyrite stone on, it'll give you some good flowing energy. Okay. Maybe birds will stop and leave you alone. So yeah. You said when you eat meat, you're eating what they ate, veggies. hmm Well, I used to be a meat eater, so I understand that thought. But then, as a scientist, if you continue to do the research, you'll also understand what else you're eating besides the vegetables that they ate. So that's like saying if you ate a human who was vegetarian, that you're only eating the vegetables because the human ate vegetables. So that's what you're saying. And I'm not comparing a cow to a human or a chicken to a human. I'm just saying that's the logic of what you're saying. So I said the same thing back in the day. Don't even feel bad. It's probably even on video. But now that I think about it, that's what it's saying. One is illegal and one ain't. You can't eat a human, but you can eat vegetables. So yeah, everyone isn't meant to be vegan. You are correct. And you know why I say that? You know why I say some people still need to eat meat? And I say this because there are some people that crave meat naturally. It's in their DNA. Okay. Depending on your bloodline, depending on your blood type and your bloodline, and depending on this goes back to your angelic bloodline. Okay, so this goes back to your angelic bloodline, and this book is really good, The Murder of Reality. And I keep telling you that some people have to drink blood or eat flesh. Oh, shoot. I spilled my drink. Some people have to eat blood or drink flesh to feel or be energized. Okay, because they don't have a certain frequency naturally through their blood type or their bloodline. And so that's why a lot of people, when like if they're really into this occult knowledge, when they choose partners and they choose wives or husbands, they check their blood type and their blood line to make sure that they don't breed certain things into their bloodline. So if there was a person that said, well, I have to have meat, I crave this flesh and this blood, it's because that's probably embedded into your DNA, into your bloodline. Now, there are some people that don't have this embedded, or they bred it out. I'll say that they bred it out somehow, or they made a very strong conscious decision to kind of like go on what they call, what's that, like, into rehab. A lot of people that struggle with it, they're almost like they're in rehab trying to break the habit, like Pookie. So it is a choice, but you are right. Some people are definitely in their DNA to want the flesh and the blood of mammals. Um, mhm. So I think people are saying, I need meat to live. That could be true. That could be totally true. And there's some people that don't. So you are right. But then there's some people that choose to get off of it anyway. Like a vampire. Like, y'all remember the True Blood show? There was vampires that just drank boxes of blood or chicken blood. What kind of blood were they drinking? That synthetic blood, whatever, that True Blood, that synthetic stuff. I'm just gonna drink the synthetic blood, you know. But then when they got a taste of human blood, they became crazy and rabid again. So um, that's why they created in Japan that True Blood, um, synthetic version of True Blood, if y'all know what that is. And that's why vampires could come out and be and walk amongst the living, because they no longer had to feast on them, or because they had this new synthetic thing. So that's kind of like what's going on a lot now. You have a lot of people that would say, oh, we got to kidnap people and steal their melanin. But, oh, well, maybe China or something have created some synthetic melanin that can be increased with 5G and UV therapy. And obviously, Trump is doing it because he's walking around dark white. So perhaps a lot of TV shows are also, indications of what's to come. Because that show's it's kind of old. That's, hmm brown skin Trump. Brown skin Trump. My lips are plump. That's because I lined them and put on a nude color, and that usually makes your lips look bigger. If you like this color, I'm going to do my shameless promo. It's called Unbothered, because that's how it stayed, Unbothered, by Level Up Cosmetics. Just type in lipstick in the search bar when you get on my Level Up Cosmetics website, levelupcosmetics.us, and just type in lipstick, and all my lipsticks will come up, and you can choose Unbothered. And then I just lined it with a brown liner. Ta-da! And there you have it. Plump lips. So that's why I never judge meat eaters. And I used to be one. Hey, I can't judge what I was. But you have a choice. And there's sometimes I'm like, oh, I just wish I could eat a crab or a shrimp. But I don't. hmm Because I think I know what's coming. Like, they're about to hit real hard, and then the pendulum is gonna then swing back the other way. So they're already telling y'all it's gonna be a dark winter. It's gonna be an increase of bad stuff. So um, that means they're getting ready to turn up 5G super hard. So if you got any mucus or underlying stuff, you should do a fast. Like, if you like, I'm a meat eater, what am I supposed to do? Go on a quick fast until after the winter, or go on a fast until after election day, because that's really when they're gonna turn it up the highest. Just go on like a week fast or something. I don't know. That means don't. That doesn't mean starve. Just go on a fast from the meat and the dairy. Okay, just go on a week fast of meat and dairy, or find something that kills mucus and eat a lot of that if you're going to be eating meat and dairy. But basically, this is why a lot of times in the Bible, around certain times, they would tell you to fast or do this or do that, because that's when they were always going to plan to do these shifts and turn up that frequency. So they put it in the religion and in the culture around certain days and certain times and da 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 to fast and do certain things. Hi, what's that? Some food? I'm talking about food. You bringing food? You must be reading my mind. Thank you. Oh, thanks. I got me some fries. It's vegan. Anyway, I guess he tried to cook me vegan food. That's all you know. It's vegan. And they're crispy too. All right. What about pesticides on fruits and vegetables? What about vaccines and steroids in animals? What about the 5G that are getting into the animals and causing cancer that they cut out right before you buy it from the grocery store? And they sell you the same piece minus the piece cut out. What about that? You know, everything's going to have something wrong with it, but people can rinse stuff off, wash it. But I'd rather eat a pesticide vegetable than a piece of steak that was right next to some cancer growth tumor with pus coming out of it that was chopped off. Okay, anyway. I'm just trying to gross y'all out. It's something that I used to do as a kid, try to gross people out. I do it to my kids to drive a point. It helps. It helps the visual. Oh, he doesn't eat dairy. He barely eats white meat, but he still eats it. Like he'll eat turkey or chicken, but not maybe once a day. He doesn't eat red meat or dairy. So he's not really vegan, but he ain't out there eating steaks and drinking milkshakes. Okay. You said the Most High gave you power over animals. That's true. He gave aliens power over us too. Sprinkle, sprinkle. There's a saying, give a man power and you'll see who he really is. So, what are you going to do with your power? I got power over animals. They get drunk over power. Yeah. Well, I understand why people had to eat animals. In some regions of the earth, they had to survive because it was cold, it was snow. They didn't prepare for winter. And so they had to go hunt and kill because they did not prepare. They were living against universal law. Once again. So either way you look at it, it's still living against universal law. Like if you just really sit down and think about stuff instead of just reacting, you'll say, well, why do people eat meat in the first place? Because they couldn't grow vegetables in the winter. Okay, that's part of it. But why didn't they prepare in the summer? Hmm. Did they not understand how to prepare? Were they not taught how to prepare? So they just didn't prepare, and they or were they too lazy to do agriculture? Did they just say, "Oh well, we'll just do like we did in the winter and kill these animals and eat them because we don't need to plant anything. It's too much work." So we'll use the animals to energize us and feed us during the winters, even though in thousands and thousands of years from now, it's going to cause lots of issues with the ozone, and it's going to cause people cancer, and it's going to cause people obesity and high blood pressure, cholesterol. We don't care. Um, we're just going to eat this because it's easy for us. So, and I don't care. I mean, I ate meat and I still understand that part of it. But I'm saying, like, if you think about it and try to trace it back, it goes back to universal law once again. They made greenhouses, right? So preparing for winter was like this big thing. That's why people celebrate the winter solstice and Yule, because it was like the darkest time of year. And if you didn't prepare for winter, you were gonna be stuck like Chuck, and you ain't gonna have no food, and you're gonna starve and die. So a lot of this stuff comes to preparation. You have to prepare for the darkness or the downswing, and you have to have enough, and you have to put in that work during the summer or the spring, or in the spring and the summer, and or in the harvest, in order to get to be fine in the winter. And some people don't prepare, and either they have to take from others or they have to survive on what they can survive on. Some people ate other people because there was no animals. Um, so that's what survival and preparation, they go hand in hand. So if you really just think about it, survival and preparation go hand in hand, not what's easiest and what's this and what's that, but just go think back to how it would have started. Okay. You said you think American Horror Story Apocalypse season was about what's going on now? Yeah, of course. Mhm. You going vegan starting in January? It might be too late then. Better go now, or at least fast from milk and meat. What do I think about mental health medications? Same thing. Western medicine does not practice prevention. It goes against universal law. hmm My doctor, my last doctor, was not from the West. They were from the East. And they straight up told me that, and from their country, they don't teach this, they teach prevention. And he had to come to the West to get the medical education that he got to practice here, because they teach you different elsewhere. They don't teach you how to cover up and mask a dying person. They teach you how to prevent a person from death. They teach you how to, well, everybody's going to die, but to live longer and to prevent you from having the problems that are going to lead to an early death. They don't teach you how to cover it up and make money off of it. There's a difference. Okay. If you're sick, they see dollar signs on you. Half of y'all ain't even really sick, but if they can sell you a drug and tell you that you're sick and make money off of you, they will. Especially if they can give you something that will mask your temporary symptoms. Instead of telling you to change and do this, they'll just give you a medication and continue to make money off of you. And you'll go buy the medication and you'll take the medication and your symptoms will be diarrhea, hallucination, possible death, but you'll still take it because you were told that it was good for you. Even though they tell you straight up you can cause certain death or suicidal tendencies or thoughts, but you still gonna sit there and put it in your mouth instead of fixing the correct issue. Instead of practicing prevention, you'll risk your life. But that's just backwards thinking. And Americans, Westerners, Americans, they all think that they're the best, they're the smartest, but they're really the stupidest and the most backwards and the dumbest people on this planet Earth, period. And we have proved it on television. We have proved how stupid we are. Well, some of us. This is a comedy. Just like the Joker said, this ain't no tragedy, it's a comedy. Because I'm laughing. The Joker said, this is a comedy. You. Because I know I'd be laughing. Look at these people scrambling. But I mean, like, I would be like those people watching TV, and this would be a TV show. And look at them stupid people, like the stupid person that goes into the haunted house. You're stupid. Well, there wouldn't be a movie if they weren't stupid. The movie would be over. There would be no horror movie if the people were smart in it. So what fun would that be? We've got to have some idiots. So that's until they start waking up and realizing, wait a minute, this ain't right. And then when you start waking up and you start realizing, then the movie starts to come to the climax and the conclusion, or to the end, that's what's happening now. People are realizing what's happening and we're coming to an end. People are waking up and becoming smarter and seeking knowledge and wondering how I can, be better. And laughing at themselves from the past and saying, well, I used to be that way and I'm so glad I've changed. Or, some people are just waking up and having to make that sudden change. But everybody is in some form or fashion waking up a little bit or a lot. So now we're at the climax of the movie when people figure out the plot twist. And I hope most people realize if you're a horror movie would be exactly this, if we were watching a movie and the medications and the foods and stuff were known to do certain things and the people still lined up to take them, we would call those people in the movie stupid. They stupid. And we would call the one awake person, oh, they must be smart. They must be different. Their brain must function at a higher level. But then you turn right around and do the same thing that the stupid people were doing in the movie, lining up for the injection, lining up for the poison, lining up for the challenge that would end to their death, that would end with their death, lining up for, their own demise. But then we watch that, they show it to us, and then they laugh and watch you go right back and do the same thing that the people in the movies were doing that you laughed and called stupid. And then they laugh at you because you didn't add one and two together. You're like, let's see if we can put these messages in the movie and see if it will register. See how dumb these people really are, how asleep they really are. Okay, so we're going to put out this movie, that movie. We're going to put out Contagion. We're going to put out Outbreak. We're going to put out all these movies that are going to mirror what's going to happen. We're going to put them out 10 years before time, 20 years before time, 5 years before time, 1 year before time, and see if anyone puts the puzzle pieces together. Nope, y'all still believe it? Oh my God. What's it going to take? Let's put Trump out there. Y'all go ahead and put Trump out. Tell him it's fake news. Let the conspiracy theories fly. Tell them it's fake news, please, Trump. What? They don't believe him? They still believe? Okay. Well, since they still believe, let's roll out this 5G. Tell them to put on that mask and wash their hands. By the way, that's symbolism. Wash your hands and put on a mask. It's very symbolic. Y'all do the research. Washing your hands means purifying yourself, cleansing yourself, becoming clean from that which you are infected or dirty with. Okay? Which is a corrupt mind and a corrupt system and a corrupt way of thinking. So to purify yourself also means to be reborn in a way, to become a new version of yourself, the higher version of yourself. That's what washing your hands was all about in the beginning of this whole corona thing. The wearing a mask means you're hiding behind another face. It means the true version of yourself cannot be seen. It means there is another aspect of you. You know, you're also hiding behind a mask, or you're preventing people from getting your highest frequency, which is when you speak, your voice lets out a frequency. And when you wear a mask, you're preventing people from receiving and getting the higher frequency or the higher version of yourself. Every time I wear them stupid masks trying to talk to people like, huh? What? I can't hear you because of the mask. So it's very symbolic. So if you Google the word mask in the Bible, just Google mask in the Bible, and then Google washing hands in the Bible, or even washing hands symbolic, or washing hands spiritual meaning, or mask spiritual meaning. Do all of that and go look it up and see why this is such a huge thing that they're, pushing. And then they also give you the information that breathing in a mask is not healthy for you either, but you still put that thing on. I only put it on, and I put it on right here, and my nose still be out. I don't put that thing over my nose. They must be crazy. So the only time I wear a mask is maybe like less than 3 minutes a day if I go into another place. And sometimes I don't even have to wear a mask because I don't go inside of any places. But these kids that are going to school, they got to walk around with that mask on all day with a heavy backpack, walking up and down stairs and hallways, et cetera, et cetera. So their brains, which is sad. I told Sasha, pull that thing off your nose and have your nose out like that. Don't allow them to cover. Don't cover up your whole face. And Layla, hers is like that too. So I say, if you got to breathe, go breathe. Yeah, they don't have enough common sense, or people don't have enough common sense to do their own research and even make a big, huge, statement about. They just allow the media to talk for them. If enough people got up and said, look, we know this, and that, and they put it all over the internet, and they put it everywhere, people would start to feel the same way and start to do the actual research. And then you'll see the news kind of hurry up and back away from that subject and change subjects, and then bring it back out later on when people stop protesting about certain issues. They'll put it on the back burner and do something else until you forget about it, and then they'll throw it right back out there, hoping people forgot about it and that new people are watching and new people are now listening to them, versus the people that said, even the doctors saying, oh, you're breathing in carbon dioxide and acidifying your blood by breathing the same air over and over. And doctors only wear this during surgery to prevent, the patient from getting, infected. But you shouldn't walk around wearing this long term. It's the stupidest thing. And plus, they said it doesn't prevent anything because you're touching everything and your eyeballs are still exposed, et cetera, et cetera. So it's really stupid. But people wear it for the comfort of the ignorant, just in case. Just in case the lie is the truth. So to me, I know exactly what it is. That's why I just wear it as all my little masks match my clothes. I just use it as an accessory. It's not a real functioning thing. My nose is halfway out that thing anyway, and so I really just don't care about stupid corona anymore. I just wear the mask so I can buy my stuff. You will not be able to purchase or buy or shop with the mark of the beast. You can't do anything without a mask. Oh well. I have masks with flowers on it. I have masks with different patterns. I might get a Halloween mask if I go anywhere. I saw this dude working at McDonald's and he had on a Gucci mask. I'm like, wait a minute. I know it's fake Gucci, but hey, it's Gucci. Mm-hmm. I like the shields. I don't have one, but when I see people wearing them shields, I be laughing. I'm like, you know what? That's a good idea. Or y'all gonna see me. The shields are the loophole. Look, y'all gonna still see me. I'ma still breathe. And y'all gonna hear me. These are crunchy, I know. I'm gonna go find me a shield. Because these masks are getting ridiculous. I got like 10 masks in the back seat, on the floor in the car. They're becoming like dirty socks or something. And for women, there's makeup all inside of them. Lip prints. Ooh, I forgot I gotta wear a mask. And you didn't put your lipstick on and forgot. I'm like, oops. You said face diapers. Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, I'm gonna let y'all go so y'all can finish letting this upload and get the information. This is super long. I'm sorry, y'all. But I guess I could cut it short, but some people want that information at the end. I could edit it and cut it. How many of you think I should edit it and cut it? You said no? Okay. Well, that's all I need to hear. I'll see y'all later. Bye.